Welcome back to the GDC project. I'm sitting here as your host, Tim McGrath, with
Stephen Dixon.
We're here today to talk about something that's very important to the recovery process as an individual and as the family. It's called extreme ownership. That's taking your power back. Personal and emotional. Most of us spend the big part of our lives blaming other people, other circumstances, our environment, trauma, addiction, all on other people's behavior. That's putting the blame on others, not taking it on ourselves. So extreme ownership is taking that power back. Anytime we're blaming somebody else, it gives them the power over us. If we're making an excuse, it gives the excuse the power over us. So what extreme ownership is meant to do is take the power back into our hands. And the moment we stop blaming is the moment we take the power back. So that's my basic definition of what extreme ownership means. So if we're thinking about extreme ownership, what does it mean to you, Steve?
I mean, it means so many different things in different levels and different areas of your recovery process. But, first thing I think of is, the phrase, I was wrong. For a lot of people, that's really hard to say. For some people, it's impossible for them to say. I think you'll find within the recovery community, it's something that we think about a lot. And I think there's different ways of looking at that. I don't want to jump ahead too far into different topics here, but, I think there's two, ways of looking at that. It's I was wrong. There's taking fault and ownership of something that you did wrong, which is tough because you sit in the guilt and the shame spiral. But there's also a positive way of looking at that is I was wrong, but what can I do to improve that? So I think just, when I think about it immediately, it's a twofold type of thing. There's that, that ugly, icky feeling of oh, I screwed up, which no one likes to admit. But, I think for those in recovery and those open to exploring themselves and, not saying that, I always say that it's the opposite of what I always said my whole life is I know, which, because I don't know shit. It's, maybe I don't know everything, and let me say, hey, I was wrong on something. And
That makes sense. And that brings me to kind of the next step is what is extreme ownership not? We could get into you talked about that self-blame and everything's my fault and it's always me and take it really hard, extreme ownership. And you could put everything on your back. But we have to really be aware of what extreme ownership isn't. That's blaming ourselves for everything.
Also true.
Which can happen, and you can get into that space. And I have to take extreme ownership. It's all my fault, which isn't necessarily true. Either. Because then if we do that, we're could potentially be ignoring trauma or hardships or thinking we have control over the outcomes, which we don't really have control over the outcomes. We have control over a few things. That's our thoughts, our attitude, our decisions, our actions, and effort. That's really it. So if we think about controlling the controllables and extreme ownership, that's all we're talking about controlling. What do we have control over? Our thoughts, our actions, decisions, attitude, and effort. That's really it. So we think about the things it doesn't affect, blaming ourselves for everything because we don't have control of outcomes. And ignoring the fact that we may have trauma or hardships in our lives that affected to the circumstances. So when we talk about extreme ownership, we're talking about controlling those controllables, not outcomes, not other people, not our past, or not external events. Going to that, is there a place in your life where you felt you were blaming someone else for your circumstances?
Oh, absolutely. It would be the height of my addiction when I remember a couple things that are not always easy to remember or, think through again. But I remember distinct conversations where I said, it's everybody else's fault. I'm just getting screwed over here. And it's a great example of how much addiction can skew your mind and change your thinking because I legitimately thought it was everybody else's problem. Like that everyone was like out to get me. I'm the only person that was out to sabotage me. Like no one was actively out to get me. But you come up with these things and it's like, you play the poor me card and the pity party, and there's only one person that attends that party. It's you. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But it was definitely at the peak of my addiction when, again, I think your thought process is a little skewed and it's a little mucky and it's a little gray, and, you don't clearly see how, which, again, I think is partly due to the substances too, but it's also like, it could also be like, I can see it as a self-protective process. Like you're already spending each day like feeling crappy about yourself. It's like to take on even more. It's tough. So it's almost like a mix of like self-defense and, your messed up thinking. But yeah, I think it's definitely, you'll see it more prominent in the peak of someone's addiction.
Yeah. I think I see it a lot now in my life and even before, where for me it was always like my weight, because it's probably this thing I struggle with the most. Because with my sobriety, I didn't know I had a problem until that day. So it was very fast for me. It wasn't like I was in it and fighting it for a long period of time. But with my weight, I'm in it and fight with it. I'm still in it and fight with it consistently. With my weight, I used to blame the bakery. I'm an Italian kid who owns an Italian bakery. I'm supposed to be fat. It's the bakery's fault. I'm surrounded by all this crap. There's a deli. There's sodas. That's all I could eat all day. Then I would blame Jen. She doesn't cook at home. She doesn't make me healthy meals.
Damn it, Jen.
It's Jen's fault. Like what the fuck's wrong with her? And, even now, like with my kids, it's like there are activities. We don't get home till 9:30. It's their fault I'm binge eating in the cabinet at 10 o'clock at night. It's like, why do their activities have to be at 9:30? So it's like different stages. I find myself blaming different people or different environments for my struggles. But at the bakery, I could have made my own food. That's actually how I lost weight. I lost weight while still working there by bringing my own food. With Jen, it's like, okay, she's not going to cook. Well, I could cook. I could prep my own healthy food. I could go to the gym. She's not keeping me from going to the gym. With my kids, it's like, okay, I could make food before we go. Like, I don't have to wait till 10 o'clock at night. So I think blame, we give the power to that person, place, or thing. And ownership is taking that power back. And that's why I don't think it's just addiction. I think it's a lot of areas of our life where when something's not going our way, we like to push it off. And I like what you said about a safety mechanism, because I think it is a safety mechanism to protect our ego more than anything.
Yeah, I definitely, and it's something I actually just kind of thought of like now is, just thinking about like those feelings and when I was in that stage. But yeah, like it's so much easier. I mean, that's the easy way out, which I think is a microcosm to so many other things in our lives too, is the easy way out, right?
Yeah.
But if we want to think about external factors, like no one is putting a gun to our head. No one's like, you have to eat the cookie. We talk about external factors. Like I'm someone who hasn't had a drink in coming up on 11 years now, and I'm a bartender. Like if we want to talk about external factors, like it's not, that's a kind of an example of how it's not external factors. Like, and I don't do it for like any sadistic, like training or anything. It just happens to be something like I have done in my, prior life, and that's an easy way to make money, but, as a second job. But, it's so easy to be like, there's only a deli nearby. And, we totally have the power to do something about that. I think it's just our default, it's like, it's just so much easier to be like, it's someone else's problem. Like, cause I think we're already struggling enough.
Yeah.
But we know that like when we're in our best parts of our lives, we can easily take ownership of things. So maybe maybe I'm just uncovering something else about this too, with myself personally. But like, it's the easy way out, And whether it's like, whether you're in addiction or not, like sometimes that's just what we want to do and what we default to.
Yeah, and that's why I want to do the best self exercise first, because it's like, what version of yourself is making that decision? because we have our best self and our anti-self, but then we have extreme ownership. Extreme ownership is your best self because if we think about it, our thoughts, our attitude, decisions, actions, effort are all within our control. But if your best self's making those decisions versus your anti-self, they're going to be drastically different decisions.
Sorry, and I didn't want to interrupt, but most of the time it's because those are reactionary decisions. And we know that our best self, they're sound decisions that aren't reactionary. They aren't, emotional reactions. They aren't like immediate reactions. They're sound reactions because we've taken the information, we've analyzed it, and we've come back with a just and sound decision. With, when we're not our best selves, it's those immediate, like emotional, neurotic,
irrational,
insecure, irrational thoughts that are so trigger happy. They're like, those are the kind of reactions that bring us to getting pizza. And like, because it's not just, you don't just end up at a pizza store. Like that's a full on thought process. And it's like, I want to avoid cooking. It's just a running. It's a runaway reaction.
I mean, it makes So it's like why that best self, anti-self is so important. Like you talked, it's like fast, emotional, rational. It's this thought process that has power that's coming through you. Do you know what a tangible skill is? So it's something that it's not like we have it or don't have it. It's something we have to work on and build. Okay. So you think about like discipline. It's not something we have or don't have. Extreme ownership. It's not something we have or don't have. Our thoughts, they come in automatically. The control we have of them is something we have to work on. So it's a skill you have to work on, but as soon as you stop working on it, you begin to lose it. So it's not something that's like I have a left hand. You have a left hand. I do. It's something you just have it. It's there. It's not something you have to work on. It's already there. So the tangible skill is something that needs consistent daily practice. So discipline, extreme ownership, desire for growth, fitness. Like fitness, you could work out every day for 6 years. You stop for a month, it's gone, right? So these are tangible skills that we need to work on. The emotional, irrational, neurotic decisions, I think, overpower us and we don't have control over them. Daniel Amen, he's a neuroscientist who does like imaging of the brain. He calls them automatic negative thoughts, ants. And we have, 60, 70, 80,000 thoughts a day. The majority of our thoughts are negative as a primary defense mechanism. Like I have to see all the things that are going wrong to protect myself. So it's like a defense mechanism. So we already are fighting against that. And like you talked about the pizza's a full conversation that we're having. And it's like, what are all the reasons I should have the pizza? And you're making like justifications and like you said, I don't want to cook. I'm really tired, and you like look for all the reasons why a pizza is good until you have the pizza.
While we're doing that, we already know we're getting the pizza. Yeah, we already know. It's almost like a relapse. Like, we know what's gonna we know what's happening, or we know what's gonna happen. We're just trying to build a case to support it. You know what I mean?
And then you get to the place where you're like, I'll just start tomorrow.
Yeah. Diet starts on Monday.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people with substance use disorder struggle with that too. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. I'll do it Monday. Because even like I said, my drinking was really fast because I didn't have a problem till I had a problem. And so I never experienced that like fight with alcohol. I saw the fight with my sister. Like I could see the internal struggles and the fight she was having mentally. But I don't think you understand as an individual of the fight you're actually like going through. Do you feel like you understood you were in like a mental gymnastics match or wrestling match? Gymnastics isn't the right word. Wrestling match.
Yeah. Do I feel like I was?
Did you know you were in it? Not that you were in it. Did you know you were
Probably
in it?
Probably not, because I think I was just so focused on just getting the drink and, finding the next, fix or finding the next alleviation to my my uncomfortness and all that kind of stuff. Something you said a couple years ago is why I will never believe in New Year's resolutions, English, because it's something that we can own all the time. It's like, and I think it's something for the positive too. It's like our diet shouldn't start on Monday. Like we shouldn't be waiting until January 1st to start something. And I mean, I definitely didn't realize that I was doing it.
Going back to the New Year's resolution diet start on Monday, there's a effect called the fresh start effect. So you're always looking for a fresh start. So that's like Monday,
Clean slate,
fresh start. Monday, your birthday, a holiday, or all these like fresh start
it's
effects.
all just self-embellishing, like self-enabling mindsets.
But in reality, we only live like now, right? Okay. In this current moment, you could even say like right now is the only place we're living. Anything in the past is a memory. Anything in the future, it's just a thought that it may happen. So we could only live like literally in this moment right now. And then one day at a time. Like, can I do my best today? And nothing else matters. Like even in like recovery, one day at a time, right? Just one day at a time. Yeah. I'm not worried about next year. I'm worried about, can I be successful today? If I fuck up, okay, tomorrow. Can I be successful tomorrow? And just one day at a time. And I think that's like a powerful mindset shift. Like, I'm not looking for a month. I'm not looking for 6 months. I'm not looking for a year. It's like, can I win today? And then repeat that over and over and over until we find that success.
Which is also kind of supported by the 1% rule. So try to get just 1% better every day, and compounded, you start to see change. You start to see results. Again, this instant gratification, which is also seen in addiction. Like we want the instant gratification of I want the pizza now because it's going to make me feel better because I don't have to cook and all this other shit. But it's the negative. It's almost like the negative 1% effect. It's like addiction just supports that every way possible. It's like, all right, go get the soda, go get the pizza, go get the cookie, go get the drink. It supports it in a negative way over and over and over again. But when you start to build up a strength, build up a, extreme accountability mindset, and you build that strength within your own mind and your own, thought process and internal dialogue, you start to just become stronger. And, we see that like you start to see those little results, day in, day out. And over time, you kind of look back, you're like, oh, okay, I've got some ground here. And you see that like, you see kind of the positive effect of, being extremely accountable.
And then on the, like you talked about building, then as soon as you stop, it's gone.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
Real quick.
You were making me think while you were talking is, do you believe in win the morning, win the day?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You ever had like pizza for lunchtime?
Yeah, then my whole day's screwed up.
Okay. So you won the morning, but then you eat pizza, or I'm just saying, we're blaming pizza here, but we keep talking about pizza. No, you have a pizza for lunch, and then what happens?
Yeah, I'm having McDonald's for dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
McFlurries.
So I used to be huge on win the morning, win the day. Perfect morning routine.
Yep.
But then it takes one instance where you go off the rails. And we're talking about pizza, but think about that in the addiction sense. It's like
have a drink, then it's like you're doing Coke and
it's
God only knows what.
The downstream effect of like, what is that trigger? And it's easy to talk about food being a trigger. Like the pizza triggers me. 100% I'm having ice cream and cereal because which is like, it's not, I don't even know if this is the right way to think, but it's like, I'm trying to be really successful on my day. Like I'm trying to eat perfect, get my workout, like everything I'm trying to do at my best. So the moment I fall off, it's like fuck it, I'll just be my worst. And I do that like quite often right now. I'm not in like a good mental or physical place. And I'll have like 4 good days, then I'll have a fuck it day. And I know in the nutrition and fitness industry, that one fuck it day could ruin your whole week. If we're talking about calories, you're eating, you're like
everything you worked off of.
Yeah, but you're eating, you're like, whatever, you're consistent 3,000 calories a week. And then all of a sudden you have a 12,000 calorie day. Now your whole week's off.
Yeah.
In addiction, you could go, I'm sober all week. And then I did everything on Friday. And you got to start all over again.
That's got to be
so
tough.
That's why I'm starting to peel back on that win the morning, win the day to be like, no, we got to win the, like, you almost got to win the evening.
Yeah,
because
win the majority.
Like if you win the dinner, the nighttime, you could go into the next day in a good place. Because I win the morning, like every morning I'm winning the morning. Like I get up, my morning routine is on fire, lunch, but then like I said before, I was blaming my kids now. That 9:30 comes at night, I'm home, I'm rummaging through so I lost my night. And if I do that every night, I'm in a rough spot.
Yeah. I do like how you phrased that though. It's like, if I can at least claim, we're so hard on ourselves. It's like, oh, I screwed up a little bit. I am screw up. Like,
yeah, I'm screw up. Yeah, I fucked up.
I am fucked up.
I'm the worst and then you get in this mind like I'm a piece of garbage. Like I'm fat. Like I hate myself, and I get in these like mental things. And like even the other night after my hockey game, I came home. It's 12 at night. It's my fault for playing hockey that late, but I love it. I had 4 ice creams, 4 granola bars, and Kinsley's leftover chicken wings at 12:30 at night. How's my next day going to start?
Awful.
I felt hungover.
Sugar hangover. Yeah.
Awful. Headache. My body aches.
Groggy.
Puffy. And like that conversation I'm having with myself while I'm on my 4th ice cream. And then I'm into the granola bars. It's like, it's just so
easy.
It's such a mental fight that if I didn't have that stuff, I would have been fine. But like now I feel terrible. I hate myself. And like you get in such a bad negative space.
Yeah. We also create we're very good at creating like false fears too. Mm-hmm. Of like, there's a part of us that's like, well, I almost feel like I'm going to feel uneasy if I don't have all the sugars and the granolas and the carbs and the wings. Like I'm going to be like depriving myself in a way, right? Does that ring any bells?
I don't feel like I'm depriving myself because it's like,
there's a yearning for it though. Like,
you want it, but it's like, you have to think that's flipping the mindset. You're depriving yourself of your results that you want. So it's either you deprive yourself from the food or your results. It's like there's no middle ground. Mm-hmm. It's like your best self versus your anti-self. We keep going back to that, but it's like, what is that ice cream depriving me from in that moment?
Comfort.
No, it's giving me comfort.
Right.
In the immediate comfort, but in the long term, it's depriving me from my results.
Right.
Like I'm hungry. I just got out of hockey. I'm craving carbs. Like I could have had an apple.
Right.
Right. I could have made the right choice. Yeah. I could have just had some water and some electrolytes and went to bed and then ate breakfast in the morning. Like I could have done those things, which would have been better for me. But I wanted that immediate comfort of the ice cream and the granola bar. Yeah. But that short-term comfort leads to that long-term suffering. And where that short-term suffering leads to that long-term comfort.
There's a phrase I heard said, we need to stop borrowing the happiness of tomorrow for today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which basically means like, you got to put in the work. This whole process, like we need to get rid of this idea that this whole process is going to be comfortable. It's going to be very uncomfortable because we're again facing feelings that we've been putting away for years. We're getting uncomfortable with ourselves. We're running away from the immediate gratification and the immediate comfort processes that we've built for ourselves, whether it's to use or to seek carbs or to eat or to blame everybody else. Those are all running away from the truth. But this is an uncomfortable process, and we all know that like things that are worthwhile are going to be tough. But we also know that once you put in the work, like once you do the work, put in the work, and do those hard things, like amazing things will come from it. That's the other part of this is like, we need to learn to get uncomfortable, which we talk about in so many ways of our lives and just our general everydayness. Like, it's not going to be a comfortable process, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah. So let's move along in our actual program sheet here. Being that it's talking about being uncomfortable and pushing through the hard times. Extreme ownership, right? Mm. A lot of it has to start with like the mindset we're in, the mind frame we're in. And there's five levels. At the bottom, we have our victim mindset. That's like, woe is me. Pity party. Life's happening to me. Everybody's against me. It's feeling helpless.
Everyone's out to get me type of mindset.
Yeah, you blame everybody for everything. It's a victim mindset. It's the lowest place we could possibly be. And it's really common in addiction or people struggling with trauma or obesity or really in a tough place. Victim mindset is really common. Level 2 is the pessimist. Nothing's going to work. Everything's bad. You know, I could try, but you want to know, I'm never going to get sober. Or I could try and try, I'm never going to lose the weight. I'm never going to get that job. Everything's going wrong. So it's not as bad as the victim, but it's next level. Level 3 will be the optimist. Everything's going to be perfect. Everything's going to go great. I'm going to find sobriety. I'm going to lose the 10 pounds. And we think everything's going great.
The pink cloud effect.
Yeah. So it's not like we're actually doing the work because we just believe it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we don't actually do the work.
It's also naive.
The fourth level, next level up, would be the realist. Be like, okay, shit sucks right now, but I could work through it and I could find success. And understands that there's both sides and we accept challenges and understands that work's required and understands that we have to build solutions. Mm-hmm. The top level is, we call it curious competitor. Curious competitor is, okay, how could I learn? How could I improve? How can I grow? We're competing against yesterday's version of ourselves and we're using our struggle as fuel. So that's the level we want to get to. And that's the hardest level to be. So we started the victim, then the pessimist, then the optimist, then the realist, and then our curious competitor. Our goal in extreme ownership is to be that curious competitor. Our goal in recovery is to be that curious competitor. We think about us talking all the time. We're chasing Maslow's hierarchy as needs. The basic needs are the physiological needs: shelter, water, food. The top is self-actualization. That's like being who we desire to be. It's the highest level of self. We can never get there unless we switch our mindset to curious competitor. So our goal in this, in recovery, in life, is to become the curious competitor with our mindset. And that starts with controlling what we can control, our thoughts, right? We talked about ants and the negative thoughts coming in. How do we take them, absorb them, and change them? And then from there, our actions. What are we doing with those thoughts? What decisions are we making? And kind of what effort am I putting? And that's all we really have control over. Yeah. And we could go right into our segment 3 is if we think about those things and then go to extreme ownership in addiction. How addiction avoids ownership. You want to go through that, Steve?
Yeah. I mean, we see it in so many different ways, you know, blaming stress, blaming family, blaming trauma, blaming environment, waiting for rescue, whether it's rehab, you know, family, medication, rock bottom, that, you know, parachute me out of here type of mindset, you know, waiting for someone to save me. I'm just going to, you know, sit here and rot type thing. And then we kind of come to the hard truth about it is that addiction thrives when responsibility is outsourced. And that's, you know, just a great realization and generalization of this is like addiction. We're always running.
Yeah.
Constant running.
And the power, like from that little sentence, addiction thrives when responsibility is outsourced. That's like that blame. It's this person's fault. It's my environment's fault. Like my food, I blame Jen. I blame the bakery.
No one's helping me.
No one's helping me. Yeah. So it's like we're giving that power over us.
Yeah.
And that's what extreme ownership, we want to take that power back. It's like,
right, no one's going to help you, but
yeah,
you need to strap the fuck up, wake the fuck up, and start to do some work because you're right. No one's going to help you. It's funny because like it's the same realizations, but like it's how you react to them. Like no one's here to save you.
Yeah. No one's coming to save you.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't change till we pull it till it's my responsibility. It's my shit to own. It's my recovery to take on. It's my weight loss to take on. And the way I like to think about like flipping that switch is like, okay, how do I get the power back? How do I get the power back? And it's like, who do I need on my team? And I talked about this in our core values episode a little bit. Who do I need on my team? All right. what do I like? What's the stuff I need to do? Like what's the stuff I need to do? Who do I need in my team? And I need to learn and improve. And it's really like that. That's it.
It's funny though. It's like I'm kind of just seeing this in, like we're almost like little like helpless like little babies in addiction. It's like like wah, like it's everyone else's fault. But like we start to become like hardened and calloused, and we become with I guess maybe that's through extreme ownership though. It's like we kind of like strengthen up and like show up, and it's like all right, like we know those things. Like it's just how we tackle them, I guess.
Yeah. Did you ever we talked about extreme ownership with you and with me. And I know with my sister a lot, it was like trying to talk to my sister and help her through her issues. It was always somebody else's fault.
Always.
And like I would have these conversations like it doesn't it's you. It's got to be you that deals with it. It's not like it doesn't matter whose fault it is or what trauma you've been through. In psychology, like you want to think about it as like who are the main people? It's like Freud. Sigmund Freud is like the main person in psychology where we go through our past and we go through our trauma and it's kind of like the system we're in today. And there was this other guy named Adler, and his belief, where he kind of got like shoved off to the side, was there is no trauma. Like nobody has trauma. He's like, we all have past. We don't want to forget about our past. I'm not saying this is like true, but he's like, how can you deal with it and move forward? Like, what are the steps that we could do to move forward? And as Freud was like, always like, we need to work through your past. Adler was like, no, forget about your past. Let's move forward. How can we take that knowledge, learn from it, and grow? And they like went two different ways in the psychology world, and we spent a lot of time with the Freud's findings and not a lot of time with Adler's findings. But it's kind of good to look at them. I think both.
Agreed.
It's like, okay, I have trauma, but how do I learn from it and move forward?
Don't stay so stuck on the fact that you have it, like, because otherwise you're just gonna sit and ruminate. Like, you at a certain point you gotta be like, all right, accept it, learn from it, and grow from it.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're just sitting there and like, just going over the same.
Yeah. The Adler book, there's a book written about him called "The Courage to be Disliked." That's the name of the book. I think the second chapter is "There is no trauma." It's a very interesting read and how it counteracts like traditional psychology methods.
Definitely controversial.
Yeah, very controversial, especially me saying that. So it's from a book. It's not from me.
Yeah. Don't quote us.
So going to that, with the like addiction, it's ownership is not shame. Like we want to make sure we're not like holding shame and we're thinking bad of ourselves, right? Because I think it's the addiction and the stigma behind it is put you into that victim mindset or that pessimist mindset, not only for yourself, but the way other people view you. And I think that's something we have to be conscious of, and something that we have to avoid is be like, okay, yeah, I have this issue. I'm going to work through it, but not to feel like shame. It's like almost that ownership should give us some sort of empowerment to make the change.
Yeah.
Our next segment, like I started off, was extreme ownership inside the family. Families also fall into a few categories: enabling, avoiding hard conversations, protecting people's feelings over the growth that we need, and carrying some responsibility. I know, like, my sister struggled a long time. And I think this is, me and Steve talked before, this is where we're going to spend a lot of our time, is dealing with the family and assistance of others, because our first core value is family. Family stands for forget about me, I love you. It's an acronym. And that love has to be tough and truthful. And enabling is something that I saw a lot with my mom and my aunt. Whatever my sister asked for something, they gave it to her. Even when I was struggling with my drinking, it was never like, oh, it's fine. Like, it's okay. Yeah. Here's this money. Here's that. And it's never like the true hard conversations. The conversations I always feel like are behind closed doors. Mm-hmm.
But there's such the elephant in the room too. It's weird. Like it's it's funny because like these are the folks you tell everything to, right? That know so much about you. Like you disclose everything to, but it's like sometimes these conversations are the most impossible ones to have. But you know, and that's where it becomes hard. It's like, and I don't know necessarily the right answer other than like you got to have these conversations because you know there's a tough love approach, which you know someone going through addiction will see. Like they'll see both. They'll see the tough love approach from certain family members, like the ones that don't want to talk to them, that don't want to deal with their shit, that won't you know allow them to come around, you know, especially while they're using. And there's others that you know employ the love approach. It's like they're gonna give you money, they're gonna like probably sneak you stuff, and you know get you to see the doctors, and you know support all your you know conditions. Like if you have like chronic pain or something, like they're gonna go help you see the you know pain doctor or something like that. Like you're gonna get a mix of both, but it's like
and they're I think those people who love are easily manipulated.
Yeah.
Without knowing they're being manipulated because they're just trying to support and help and love.
They think that you're, you know, really actually like going through some stuff. It's like they want to help, but like you're really the one that's pulling the wool over their eyes. And it's like that's on you. And it's like it's gonna come to a very raw, you know, conversation of like, you know, this is actually like all on me. Like, I'm creating all these like little fights that are going on in the background and like other things like. And it's going to be a tough conversation to have. But once you start to like, once everybody's on the same playing field, you also realize that there's no escaping it too. Like once all those cards start to flip and everyone's like in the same boat together, you have one of the strongest support mechanisms ever.
I think you said something very, very important there. It's like getting everybody in the same boat. And I think sometimes with families, we don't do a good job communicating, like
on purpose too.
What boat are we going to be in and what direction? Like you're paddling east, I'm paddling west, and all of a sudden we're just stagnant. We're not moving.
Right.
Like I know even within my family, it's you know we were all over the place of what we wanted to do and how we wanted to handle it and what we should do. Nobody wanted me to say anything because I'm the jerk or the asshole and you're too mean and you say mean things and you're gonna hurt her feelings.
Truth, though.
Yeah, and speaking the truth is like my wife hated my friend Jack, and I'm gonna say his real name. His name was Jack. He always used to tell me I was fat. He'd be like, "Bro, you're fat. Like, get your shit together. You're fat. Get your shit together." And my wife hated him, but I was like, he was like the only one who told me like, get like, dude,
yeah.
Like, I care about you. Get your shit together. Like, he was mean about it, but it was actually what, like, the catalyst person that, like, pushed me to change.
Yeah.
So, like, I always, like, loved and respected him. When she hated him, I was like, he's not lying to me.
Yeah.
Like, he's not lying.
The one person that actually is saying it how it is.
Yeah. And, you know, even now, like, I want to have conversation with certain people in my family, but then other people are like, no, don't.
Walk on glass.
Getting on the same page, I think, is extremely important for families. So it's like maybe there's a family meeting that needs to be had. It's like, okay, how are we going to not enable? This is what she does or he does. This is how they manipulate us. This is what they're trying to get. And this is going to be our approach. And I think that's something that we at the GDC Project would be able to assist with some guidance and coaching to help you identify those, help you have the conversations to be in the right spot.
Because I think a lot of times what we'll find, though, is that the folks that are enabling, they just want to know in the end that the person's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So if we can alleviate those fears, if we can get the tough love people to maybe ease up a little bit, and maybe the love people to kind of snap with it and get with it and like realize that like what they're doing is not helping.
Yeah. It's like, what is our course of action?
Here to help. Then we can, foster the conversations that really do help this person. And when they realize that like there's no one they can run and escape to, it'll kind of cut the bullshit a little bit too.
Yeah, because if you're tough love and I'm love, they ask you, I need some money. Like,
I'm gonna go straight to you.
Yeah, then you say no, then all of a sudden straight to me. Okay, here.
I have nowhere to go.
Yeah,
yeah.
Here, and then, we're again rowing the boat in different directions. Yeah. So if we think about extreme ownership for the individual struggling. It's owning their behavior, owning their recovery, and owning the trust rebuilding. But as the family, it's owning our boundaries, owning communication, owning our emotional responses, which is something we struggled with a lot as a family, and owning our own healing from trauma. Support does not mean removing consequences. Support means standing beside someone while they face them. So, as we think about the family concept, I'm going to repeat the acronym again because it's one of my favorite acronyms. Forget about me, I love you. And what does that mean? That means love and truth. That means compassion and accountability. That means support without enabling. I think as a family, it's much different. I mean, extreme ownership is still extreme ownership. What do we have ownership over? Our thoughts,
our actions,
our effort, and our decisions. So it's only those few things. So it's like when something happens, how do we react as a support system? Like, how can we best support the individual? And maybe that takes a day, a step back. Maybe that takes a few phone calls. Maybe that takes a meeting. Maybe it takes some time because that time gives us space to make an informed decision. And it removes the emotional, we were talking about before, emotional, neurotic responses that can come, right? It gives our time for our best self or best family decisions. Next segment is blame versus excuses. All right. Why we use blame? Number one, it protects our ego. We talked about that before. We avoid discomfort. It feels safer emotionally, but it keeps us stuck. And then excuses. What do our excuses sound like? I had a bad childhood or a traumatic experience. I'm just wired this way. I'll start tomorrow. The fresh start effect. I need motivation first. Excuses delay growth. Ownership accelerates growth. So if we think about extreme ownership, we want to avoid blaming and avoiding excuses. The next segment is ownership without outcome control. What that means is we don't have control over our outcomes. If we go back to our controllables, our thoughts, decisions, effort, actions, and attitude. So this is a very important thing to understand is ownership is about effort, discipline, integrity, consistency, not guaranteed outcomes. We are responsible for our effort, not results. And I feel like a lot of times when we're not seeing the results, it could flip us backwards in our level of mindset. Like we want to be that curious competitor, but then I have a setback where I do binge eat or I do use, and then all of a sudden I'm the victim again. I mean, we were talking about that before and how I hate myself because I'm solely focused on the outcome versus the work I put in.
The right now.
Yeah. That was pretty much our extreme ownership podcast. The only thing we have left is some practical tools for use is what did I do well today? Where did I avoid responsibility? What can I improve tomorrow? Am I blaming or building?
I like that last one.
Yeah, am I blaming or building? And the ownership habit, when something goes wrong, ask, what part of this is mine? Like, where do I have control over this?
I think it's also important to remember this is something that applies to not just folks in addiction, but folks in everyday life.
Yeah.
This is something that if you can incorporate in your everyday life, you will have taken a step further than a lot of people have in their own lives. I think this is something that we know that we should implore in the corporate world and our everyday, you wish everyone could think like that.
Yeah. That's why it's like that tough, tangible skill. Like we call it, like in here, what was that last one? It was waiting for motivation.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for motivation. So extreme ownership, it's like motivation comes and goes.
Yeah.
It's like discipline is the skill you need, not the motivation. And motivation is that tangible skill. That extreme ownership is that tangible skill. Do you remember Ben Bergeron?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I went to his gym, CrossFit New England. He had these bracelets. And the bracelets were those like strap bracelets you could get for like advertisements, the like rubbery ones.
Yeah.
And then on it said, never whine, never complain, never make excuses. And the idea was if you caught yourself whining, complaining, or making an excuse, snap your wrist. Just to like reset the mind, reframe, be like, okay, don't whine, don't complain, don't make excuses. And I think that's a really powerful way to think about extreme ownership is, okay, in this situation, am I blaming someone? Am I making an excuse? What do I have control over? And keep kind of talking yourself into that. And like you said, it's not just addiction. It's everyday life, everything we're doing, recording this podcast. We need to take some ownership over the things we're saying and what we're doing and how we're approaching our thoughts. So it's literally in every aspect of daily life. Any closing thoughts on extreme ownership or this podcast?
No, but do you want to close this out with our closing line?
What's our closing line? Yeah, go ahead. You get it.
Ownership is the doorway between who you are today and who you're capable of becoming.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, share, subscribe, send to a friend. We truly appreciate each and every one of you guys.